Black lives, they matter here.
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 Native 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 lives, they matter here.
Hmong 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 lives, they matter here.
Trans 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 lives, they matter here.
Women's 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 lives, they matter here.
Somali 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 lives, they matter here.
Muslim 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 lives, they matter here.
Him to reopen all the cases, open the cases by any means necessary. But we're not going to stop at Keith Ellison's office. We're not going to stop at just the governor's office. We're not going to stop outside a precinct, whether it's there right now or not. We are here today in the streets to say, now and until we get community control, where we can deal with these cops ourselves, past killers and the present killers, and stop future killers, that it's time to indict, convict, send these killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
There's a real similarity in what people think our demands should be in the labor movement and what they should be for Black lives. They say, we change the system by changing the politicians, and that's bullshit. They tell me to go door knock for politicians who cut my workers, who cut my pay, and it's the same thing for the liberation of Black folks. They say, let's get different people in office. Am I behind the Mike Freeman resign campaign? Hell yeah. But guess what? It doesn't matter if we get someone else to be the county attorney. They're going to do the same damn thing because that is their job. It's not until we have control of the police that they're going to go to jail, because they're doing their job. Their job is to protect the police because they protect them. That's the way this works. And I also want to say, as a leader in the labor movement, I have seen firsthand how when unions take up the demand to convict killer cops, that moves the union movement forward. It was you all who were in the streets to demand justice for Jamar Clark that moved forward the labor movement. We saw strikes because of the Black Liberation Movement, because of you all. Right now in Chicago, 5,000 workers at the University of Illinois are on strike during a pandemic. During a time when all we hear from our bosses is layoffs and cuts to services, they are saying no. Black and brown nurses, clerical workers, technicians are saying, we are not going to die so the politicians and rich people can make money off our backs. And that is how our movements are related. The labor movement needs the Black Liberation Movement, and the Black Liberation Movement needs the unions. And we have to bring our movements together. So if you are in a union, you need to demand that your union support community control of the police, because that is the only way we are going to get these killer cops behind bars. Thank you.
My name is Samai Aiden. I'm the younger sister of Isaac Aiden, who was murdered on July 2nd, 2019 by 4 officers from Bloomington and 1 officer from Eagan. This past year, we have sat in meetings with Keith Ellison. We have sat in and had conversations with these politicians to try to hold my brother's killers accountable. Keith Ellison in particular, after the video of my brother, or the dash cam footage of my brother was released 5 months after the murder, the redacted footage, Keith Ellison actually reached out to my family while he was in vacation somewhere in South America, and called us and said that he had watched 6 different news stations talk about the same events of that night with the same documents that were released to all of them, and each one of them told a completely different story. And he asked that, he said that like that made no, I guess, that made no sense to him. And he called to let us know that he was going to schedule a private screening of all of the evidence in my brother's case on December 6th. My brother's footage was released on November 13th. On December 6th, Chief Harrington and Keith Ellison actually went and watched all of the footage, all of the evidence, reviewed everything. A couple days later, Keith Ellison called us again and apologized to us and said, "I'm so sorry, there's no way this should have been justified." I'm sorry is not bringing my brother back. It's not giving my family justice. It's not helping in the grieving process. It's not putting his killers behind bars.
If George don't get it, if George don't get it, if George don't get it,
Shut it down!
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 if Jamar don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Jamar don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Jamar don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Terrence don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Terrence don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Terrence don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Doug don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Doug don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Doug don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Isaac don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Isaac don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Isaac don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Thurman don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Thurman don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Thurman don't get it,
Shut it down!
Sleeping in late so we can wake that ass up.
Every day this summer with you, and we want to take this to victory. We want to get these cops in jail. We want to get these people punished. We want to reopen these cases now. You might be wondering, how does this have to do with the anti-war movement? And the fact of the matter is that the military hardware that is used to crack down on our community is the military equipment that we've been using abroad. So if you didn't like having the National Guard patrolling our streets during the Republican National Convention in 2004, or if you didn't like having the National Guard patrolling our streets this summer, then I think it's important to look at the relationship between our occupying other countries and our having our own police forces here occupying our country. Lastly, this same racist bullshit that says, you know what, that the cops get to assume anyone who's a person of color, anyone in the city is a criminal. It's the same racist bullshit that the U.S. military uses in places like Afghanistan, where they bomb repeatedly. People who are at weddings, people who are coming home from school, people who are in their neighborhoods, because the assumption is if you live in Afghanistan, you're a terrorist. That is the same racist bullshit.
the racist system. in a racist system.
No good cops 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 in a racist system.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
For who? For who? For who? For who? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it?
I was not prepared, but I'll do my best. So, we're gonna fist up, everybody. It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one
We
another.
have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our
As
chains.
loud as you can, it is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our
We
chains.
have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Thank you.
Come on.